Hello everyone, welcome back to Queerspace. This is a channel dedicated to creating a safe space for anybody irregardless of their colour, gender, sexuality, etc. Hello, how are you? That's good. So I've noticed that my introductions are almost way too long, so I'm just going to keep it real short, and this is a video about 5 of the best queer films of all time. Let's get into it. Number 5 is Paris is Burning, which is a documentary by Jenny Livington, and it was set in New York in the 80s. Behind the scenes and information on the drag ball scene in New York in the 80s. And if you don't know what a drag ball scene is, I suggest you watch the film, but a quick explanation of the drag ball is that things like RuPaul's Drag Race. So you have a theme, you put on the clothes, you walk down the catwalk, and people judge you off your look. The idea is that you're escaping reality, so if you're a queer guy and then you're dressing as a straight, your theme might be just stole my husband's $5,000 handbag. Whatever the category is, you get to kind of escape reality for a little bit. And if you were queer in New York in the 80s, you know that it was a pretty tough place to be gay. So the film is very brave and it's very honest and very true because there's a lot of interviews one-on-one and it's very personal. But I suggest that you fucking watch it.
To be the mother of the house, you have to have the most power. Take a real family. It's the mother that's the hardest worker. And the mother gets to...
Number 4. Blue is the warmest colour. Now this film I watched when I was going through a breakup and it was very hard to watch, so I cried like a baby, and the film is very long. I think it's 3 hours, which is a long French movie, but if you like French cinema and cinema in general, this is a perfect example of what a queer film should be. Even though there's a very long and like gratuitous lesbian sex scene, which is kind of like very intense to watch, but saying that, the film is absolutely beautiful and there's just so many raw and honest scenes, and the relationship between the two main characters are just so real. And the film follows this character named Adele. I think the French version of the film is actually called The Life of Adele, and follows this girl named Adele. She's coming out of college, which is like the equivalent of high school, and then she meets this girl with blue hair who's played by Léa Seydoux. And I like it in the snails. She kind of helps her discover her sexuality, and the relationship grows and it becomes very beautiful and truthful and honest. And yeah, watch the film. I cried so much. But it's, yeah, one of the best queer films I've ever seen in my life. Number 3 on the list is a film that came out last year, which is funny because this list is the top 5 queer films of all time. This film came out last year, so that says a lot about this film. And this film actually won Best Picture. And if you know anything about the Academy Awards, you would know that this film is Moonlight by Barry Jenkins. It explores the life of being African American in a rough part of Atlanta and growing up gay and seeing how that kind of goes across in that landscape. It's unique because you don't often see tough black dudes who are gay, and emotional, feeling things. So it's really, really cool, very unique, and something that you can't miss. You can't miss it, you have to watch it. Again, it's very long, but again, cried like a baby. I cried and everything. I cried my wine like 15 times. If you want a true, honest love story and something that's very personal, something that's very real, Moonlight is the film for you, and you won't regret it. I'm telling you right now, because it's really damn good. Like 5-star worthy, really good. I remember leaving the cinema feeling completely different because I looked at cinema so differently after that film, because it restored hope in the ideas of sexuality and how they're portrayed on screen. And I don't want to give too much away because it is a film that you should experience wholeheartedly, but please do see it, and that's my number 3.
With me, huh, Sharon? Yeah, you trying to get smart with me, huh?
Number 2 on the list is Carol, starring Cate Blanchett and Rooney Mara. This is directed by Todd Haynes and it's based on a novel. Why Carol is so damn good is because it's so subtle. When you watch lesbian films, especially things like Blue is the Warmest Colour, which is a fantastic film, although at times exploitative, but nevertheless, fantastic film. Carol is very, very subtle in its sense, so it doesn't expose too much, it doesn't exploit lesbian culture. It's just a true, honest love story between two beautiful women, one of which she's married and has kids, so it's a very interesting view about how she deals with that and how she deals with her sexuality. And then a younger girl who lost for this old lady who played by Rooney Mara. It is shot beautifully. There is just so many amazing scenes. Like, I kept watching it, I was like, because it looked so damn good. Like, I was just turned on, I think, a little bit.
It's not your fault, Therese. All right.
And my number one queer film of all time is Weekend by Andrew Hay. Hey! But if you know anything about me, you know that I really, really adore subtleties. So I adore things that aren't too overstated, things that are not over the top, things that are real and things that are raw. When I watch films, I definitely expect realism, not too much of a fantasy, unless I'm going to a fantasy film. But if I'm watching a film that's about gay couples, I want to expect something that's real and that's going to give me some advice about things, because that's what I want to watch it for. In saying that, Weekend is a really quick and idealistic, realistic, unromanticized snapshot into gay dating. Gay relationships happen very, very quickly. So if you meet someone at a club and you come home, you have these really strong connections over a weekend. You might not ever see each other again, but that's totally fine. I just think Weekend is probably the most raw and realistic gay film that I've ever seen. I'm talking from a gay man's perspective. I'm not lesbian, I'm not trans, so I'm sure people identify with films differently, but I identify with Weekend the most. And that's why I got the most out of. It definitely changed the way I saw dating and the way I saw relationships in general. And I think that's why I liked it so much.
It's a very costly mug.
What do you mean?
To be able to buy a wee.
I don't even know how much those things are. Like, do you want milk, sugar?
Just remember, vote yes in the upcoming postal survey bullshit, because it's important that we get married one day and we have equal rights, because it means more than just marriage. It means that we are an equal human being to everyone else. And I'm sure anyone who's watching these videos would definitely agree with that. So if you're in Australia, vote yes in the postal survey. If you have not enrolled, then fuck you. Thank you for watching again, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Bye.